Right now at 6, a new bill could help Wisconsinites dealing with infertility. How the push could save families thousands of dollars.
And a cannabis manufacturing business in La Crescent is one step closer to reality. What's left before they can open their doors?
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozorowski. Many Wisconsin families have to pay a high price to access fertility treatments.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains a new bill that's looking to change that. Allison.
The Wisconsin Building Families Act would require health plans to cover fertility treatment and fertility preservation services. More than 170,000 people in Wisconsin experience infertility, and those seeking treatment in the state have to pay tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket. Eau Claire Representative Jody Emerson authored the bill. She says it's time for insurance companies to treat infertility like the medical condition it is.
I believe that reproductive freedom is about being able to choose when and if you have a family, when it works for you. And finances shouldn't get in the way of it. Other medical conditions shouldn't get in the way of it.
Emerson says she would be open to compromising with insurance companies in order to get the legislation passed. Her office couldn't give an exact cost figure for the bill, but estimated that covering fertility care would be about 1% of total premium costs. Currently, 22 states and D.C. have passed fertility insurance laws. Reporting in the newsroom, Allison Fergut, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Allison. A GoFundMe is raising money for the family of a La Crosse librarian. Medora Nelson Ferris was a children's librarian at the La Crosse Public Library. She died of injuries after a hit-and-run incident in late September. Now, the link to donate is posted on our website. Supporters have already raised over $10,000 so far. LCPD confirming today that 18-year-old David Resto has been charged in the case. The criminal complaint says Resto was driving at an excessive speed and did not stop at a stop sign, ultimately crashing into her vehicle. A News 8 Now follow-up. The victim in the fatal collision in La Crosse at Mormon Cooley Road and 33rd Street has been identified as 37-year-old Nicholas Smythe. On October 2nd, he was seriously injured in a two-vehicle crash while riding his motorcycle. Despite life-saving efforts at the scene and being transported to a local hospital, he died to his injuries. Construction on Highway 35 is underway, but it will remain open to traffic. Governor Evers recently signed a $9.5 million contract to reconstruct the highway between La Crosse and Vernon County. Preliminary work has begun today, with the highway reconstruction expected to be done in November of 2026.
Fire hydrant flushing is underway today on La Crosse's north side. Flushing started around 7 a.m. and will take 2 to 3 days. Residents may experience lower water pressure and discolored water that could affect laundry or tap water.
So this is all just for clean, healthy drinking water to make sure that there's no sitting water that has stayed too long and collecting deposits, and just make sure those areas of lower flow, lower consumption have clean water.
Now, if you see discoloration, run a cold tap in your bathtub for a few minutes until the water clears. On Wednesday, crews moved to South La Crosse for 3 to 4 days of flushing. The City Council of La Crescent has approved the conditional use permit to a new cannabis business at 190 Main Street. The Planning Commission already gave the thumbs up last week. Carbon MN LLC plans to operate an indoor cannabis manufacturing facility. They won't sell at that location, but will supply local stores. They hope to open early next year with state approval.
Well, what a fantastic weekend of weather.
Yeah, it was lovely.
I was over at Eckers over the weekend. Beautiful sunshine. Shout out Scott over at Eckers. Great guy. And you were saying a little bit of rain this morning. I actually didn't see any in the town of Onalaska, but it looks like this week could be a bit of a rainier one. Right?
Yeah, the mountains were fairly light compared to what we had the previous week and night. But the thing was, all this has been nighttime rainfall for the most part, but that's going to change this week. It's going to be more impactful during the daytime too. So going forward, but today was actually a little bit of sunshine came out. We warmed up because the cooler air didn't really get behind the system. So overall, we started warmer and we ended up fairly nice for most areas, mid to upper 60s, well above average, even a few 70s further south and east. Now, where it was clearing out a little bit earlier last night, they dropped down, so the temperatures were only getting up to the low to mid 60s further north and west you went. But all in all, still above average. Now, right now, the system that we're tracking as well to the south, that's the one that's going to be coming up here later as we get towards tomorrow. That's what we'll have to keep an eye on. Otherwise, this evening, not anything significant. Getting back down to the upper 40s, a few clouds. All in all, pretty mild for this time of year. Fairly nice. May need a jacket, but that's about it. And La Crosse, very similar. Getting back down to 53 as we go later in this evening, but staying dry for now. Later on, we have multiple rain chances coming up that will impact your afternoon or evening activities, and then later on we'll kind of break down. We do have more 70s in the forecast too, so that will all come up a bit later in the broadcast.
Selfishly, I would love another week and a half of 70 degrees in the month of October.
Nice.
No, I want October 50s. We can need the 50s, 60s, and we're getting that time of year where some places in the UP in northern Wisconsin start seeing
I did
first
break out my flannel already. I'm in the spirit for it.
Yeah,
These cooler temps.
The S word's coming up soon, so don't worry.
It is. All right, Greg, thanks very much. Well, Winona students had a taste of locally grown food at lunch today. Winona area schools hosted a farm-to-school event this morning at the senior high school. Students tried Ferndale Farms wild rice turkey brats, all made with Minnesota-grown ingredients, I should say. It's part of the National Farm-to-School Month, and the district says it's working to get more locally sourced food into school meals year-round.
UWL has a packed day of events scheduled for Indigenous Peoples Day. Various activities were planned today, starting with trolley tours and a lacrosse tournament this morning. It's finishing up with a keynote address at 7:30 tonight. Other activities included vendors, educational programming, and a free community dinner with live entertainment. This is the first year that UWL is hosting the Indigenous Peoples Day evening program.
Ultra Federal Credit Union employees went out volunteering across the Coulee region today. It is part of the company's 8th annual Ultra Gives Back Day, with all offices closed to allow more than 400 employees to volunteer. Locally, they're helping out at places like the La Crosse Area YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, and the Coulee Region Humane Society. And the Brewers are in the championship series for just the 4th time in franchise history.
Yeah, they're set to take on the LA Dodgers tonight for Game 1. News 8 Now's Jacob Lenzendorf and Kate Overton join us from American Family Field with a look at tonight's matchup. Guys.
Yeah, hi guys, just me for right now. Kate will be joining me later in sports, but you can feel the buzz building here as there's more fans starting to file into the stadium as we're getting ready for Game 1 of the NLCS in exactly 1 hour. Going to be a great time as the Brewers come into this one after a tough 5-game series with the Cubs. Now, on the other hand, the Dodgers, they won in 4 games. They've had a little bit of time to rest and get ready for this one before the matchup with the Brewers. Now, let's take a look at that matchup here. It's a rematch from the last time Milwaukee was in the NLCS back in 2018 when the Crew lost to LA in 7 games. Now, if the Brewers can find a way to pull out this series, it'll be their first time going to the World Series since 1982. Aaron Ashby will get the start tonight for the home side, and then we could see Quinn Priester or Jose Quintana. Regardless, Pat Murphy has a plan, and he will stick to it like he did in that last series. Now, one thing that is on the Brewers' side in this one is that they are not going against the Cubs, so definitely not as much of a wayside presence from fans and not as much noise, but the Dodgers will make up for that with lots of talent on that roster, and they're paid a lot of money too. But we will hear from Pat Murphy and Caleb Durbin coming up later in sports, and I'll be joined by Kate as well. But for now, guys, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thanks, Jacob. Still ahead tonight, bringing history to life. Our latest top-notch teacher getting some statewide recognition. Right after this.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, a documentary about ending homelessness screens in La Crosse. We'll talk with the filmmakers and a local expert about some proven solutions that are working across the country.
Get big fall savings at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Weatherize with RV and marine antifreeze, just $3.99 a gallon. Clean up with 24-ounce toilet bowl cleaner, only $1.49. A 75-count pack of disinfectant wipes, just $2.22. Plus an 8-pack of pork chops is only $10.99. Hurry, these great deals won't last long. Sign up for Menards emails to get the weekly flyer plus exclusive daily flash sales right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
John Deere lawn tractors are built for year-round versatility because your work isn't done when the grass stops growing. Attachments like bagging systems and snow removal tools make lawn cleanup a breeze and those long, cold months a lot easier to take. Be ready for anything Wisconsin brings us with a mow and snow package from Tractor Central. Visit Tractor Central today to find out why nothing runs like a Deere. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
It's a John Deere day.
Right now at US Cellular, you can get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $90.
Hey, we're tired of having the wool pulled over our eyes with these hidden requirements. What aren't we seeing?
Yeah. Do we get our choice of free phones?
Yep, you get the latest phones.
I bet we have to trade in our old phones, though.
Nope, sure don't.
Wow.
High five. Almost. Higher. Yes. Nope.
Get 4 phones plus 4 lines for $90 with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. US Cellular, now part of T-Mobile.
If your basement walls are peeling, that is not appealing. So this is water damage,
yes,
man?
Sir. That's water damage.
How many people right now have compromise in their basement brought on by water?
Oh, the majority. I mean, water is the enemy of a home.
Right.
But it's better to have it assessed to give you that ease of mind.
Sure.
Inspections are free. Might as well just give us a call to help.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Top Notch Teacher is sponsored by Viterbo University and Dahl Honda.
The Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History, based in New York, has named our latest nominee the Wisconsin History Teacher of the Year. And we discovered her approach to getting middle schoolers engaged with history is really what sets her above the rest. Alicia Neinfeld loves to travel across oceans.
My Normandy sand from when I took kids to Europe. I have my little Eiffel Tower from when I was in Paris.
And through time with her history class.
To the 1700s. Really, history is about a story. Helping them piece together the pieces of the story, I think that helps them become more engaged.
Now in her 4th year at Chippewa Falls Middle, Neinfeld is all about finding creative ways to share her passion in the classroom.
She's not like the boring teacher who just like reads off slides and gives you tests and pop quizzes and stuff like that.
Well, I'm pretty high energy. Hear he on behalf of the king and parliament. I like to try to engage them as much as I can. So whether it's an activity or a game or a simulation, like I want to be all in.
An activity like playing revolutionary dress-up and having students learn the joys of taxation without representation.
If you are in school, you're being taxed 1 Skittle. When I get kids watching fun videos or doing activities and they are like so in it and they're belly laughing, that's what makes me want to keep doing this. And when I see kids in DC and their eyes are huge and they're just like, this is amazing. And it's like, yes, this is what I wanted to show you.
It's what makes Neinfeld eager for the next lesson, the next trip through the history books.
So many people tell me that they wish they would have paid attention or they enjoy history more as they get older. And so I'm hoping that I can spark enough in these guys right now to, you know, maybe understand that they can keep digging deeper and then maybe find a love for it.
If you have a teacher you want to nominate for this segment, just head to the Features tab in the top left section of news8000.com. Click on Top Notch Teacher, where you can fill out a nomination form. We will have more news ahead tonight, but first.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have a lot of active weather this week. That means rain chances coming back in. That'll likely impact some of your activities during the daytime. We'll time out the rain chances and then show you what the temperatures look like. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
'Tis the season for joy, cheer, and awesome toys here. Toyland is now open at Fleet Farm. We're kicking things off with 12 days of deals starting Saturday, October 11th, where you'll find red-hot buys on Hot Wheels, Lego, Play-Doh, Melissa and Doug, Nerf, and many more. Can't pay today? Put it on layaway and we'll hold it for you. Stop in and grab a catalog to fill out your wish list and get a jump on holiday gifting. Or shop our Toyland catalog now at fleetfarm.com.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of sight and sound, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. That's the sofa up ahead. Your next stop, the comfort zone.
Fast, free financing available. Don't need financing? Ask about our cash discount.
Come to Wesco and find yourself in the comfort zone and tell them Peyton sent you.
I lost my son to an accidental drug overdose. This is why we created the George Ford Recovery Foundation to champion drug use awareness, funding, and solutions so we don't lose any more kids. You know, there's an effective, simple solution. Narcan kits help save lives in seconds. They're required in schools in many states, but sadly, not in Wisconsin. Help us become the next state to implement them and save lives. So please call your state senator today.
If your basement walls are peeling, that is not appealing. So this is water damage, man?
That's water damage.
How many people right now have compromise in their basement brought on by water?
Oh, the majority. I mean, water is the enemy of a home.
Right.
But it's better to have it assessed to give you that ease of mind.
Sure.
Inspections are free. Might as well just give us a call to help.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Yeah, we had a little bit of rain last night. Really, it was just enough to basically wet the ground. Really, all this mountains pretty much are around a tenth for this light shaded green. A lot of areas maybe a trace or less. As this was the event, and last week, a lot of this fell during the nighttime, so it didn't really impact a lot during the daytime. That all is going to change this week. We're going to see some impacts, obviously with some precipitation coming during the daytime. The first system we're watching is a little disturbance well to the southwest and central plains. That is going to begin to lift northeastward. Cloud cover tonight, and then eventually that'll sit over us for rain chances coming through. Here's the front that passed through and the associated precipitation that we had with it previous night. So things will be a little bit different this week. Definitely more active, definitely a lot more precipitation and cloud cover this week too. For tonight, temperatures overall pretty seasonable, a little bit of degree above what we should be, but all in all quiet with a northeast wind there going on. Now precipitation does come and play tomorrow. Depending on location, a lot more clouds. That'll be the bigger temperature thing, and a drop in temperatures. So where you were in the 70s here, you're practically back in the low 60s. This is closer to where we should be, but not in the way of much sunshine. There will be a little bit earlier in the day, but not much later. You can see starting off at 4 a.m. Somewhat as you go further south, that's where you're going to see a little bit breaks in the clouds, or east, but eventually that will fill in. But if you're north, you're going to start seeing a lot of clouds in the morning, and then throughout the day along and north of I-94, just areas that could see a little bit of light rain or showers, light activity, but that's something to keep in mind of. Further south you go, as you see by noon, we're just increasing cloud cover, but overall staying dry, and really through about 4 to 5 p.m., it's still that type of nature going on with along north of Eau Claire. You got that activity. Further south, not much going on. Now, past the evening commute, it's going to start picking up and become more steady or light rain further north. Later on, as you go further south, it'll probably be more 7 to 8. You'll start seeing that activity become more light rain and then steady light rain for a lot of areas throughout the nighttime. As you go throughout, you can see by 1 to 2 a.m. it's a nice steady light rain throughout most of the region going on. We'll start seeing that kind of drift to the south, so the morning commute for areas along and north of I-94 probably will be dry. The shower activity continues here, but just light activity throughout the morning time, and eventually all this will come to an end with a little bit of clearing potentially towards Wednesday afternoon, but a lot of areas will see a lot of cloud cover tomorrow, and that will continue to Wednesday going on. Now, rain amounts right now, depending on where, pretty much widespread, you're going to see some amounts, but for the most part, it's centered right along I-94 and just stretching eastward. So Mankato, Red Wing to Eau Claire, down to maybe La Crosse. That area is where you could see maybe a ½ inch, maybe a little bit more. The rest of the areas a little bit less, but still we're going to see some rainfall. As you would expect, clouds and precip will keep those temperatures kind of where they were on Tuesday, upper 50s, maybe some mid 50s, not too far from where we should be. We do have more rain on the way, but it'll have to wait until about Thursday morning. We're going to have another front approach. This is going to be a warm front that's going to kind of lift northeast. So that'll be coming in focus for Thursday, and we'll see a little bit of a break in Thursday afternoon or Friday. The winds turn around. That means Friday, ahead of the cold front, we're going to see some warm temperatures. Thursday, we're going to warm up to the mid to upper 60s, maybe 70. That rain will be there, but we'll also get fairly warm. And then going into Friday, it gets even warmer ahead of the cold front. In fact, mid to upper 70s are possible, and it looks fairly dry until we get to later Friday night and Saturday when a cold front approaches, and that'll bring our temperatures back down with the Saturday morning probably rain chance there, and for the rest of the weekend fairly dry. So it's wet a lot, but there's also some dry periods, and overall temperatures are not too bad. But yeah, Friday it's going to be warm.
All right. So, I mean, comfortable. Rain chances aside.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, deja vu. The Brewers and Dodgers playing for a spot in the World Series like 20. Our sports team is live from Milwaukee. Next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Let's talk about character for a moment. The heart and soul that defines what you're made of. People of true character recognize that they're part of something bigger than themselves. Take the doctors, nurses, and staff at Amplify Health. These are pros at the top of their game who come together as a team and give it their all for the benefit of others. That's character, that's professionalism, that's Amplify Health, and that's the mindset that makes life better.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
In 1969, Taco John's combined Western traditions with Mexican flavors and created West Mex. More than 50 years later, it still tastes like a good idea. West Mex meals start at just $5, only at Taco John's.
Right now, U.S. Cellular makes it easy to switch and get $1,100 off any phone with no trade-in.
No trade-in? But we're willing to trade in our teeth.
Nope, you don't have to trade your teeth in or an old phone.
I like that.
Yeah, your parents get an amazing deal.
I almost lost this one.
Yeah, you get to leave your tooth under your pillow.
For me, it's tooth fairy time.
Get $1,100 off any phone with no trade-in, and we'll pay off your current contract when you switch. U.S. Cellular, now part of T-Mobile.
From sunup to sundown, Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning has been servicing our Cooley region for 60 years. Whether you are in La Crosse, Onalaska, West Salem, Holman, La Crescent, and now open in Blair, take comfort your heating and cooling needs are met with our trusted staff, longevity, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Be ready this fall and call Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning for your furnace clean and check today. Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, your local train dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
All of the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports.
Good evening, everyone, and hello from American Family Field. It's NLCS Game 1 time between the Brewers and the Dodgers. And, Cade, this place is starting to fill up. The excitement is starting to build as well as the Brewers are going to try to do something they've never done since 1982, that's go to a World Series.
I mean, if you're a Brewers fan, you have to be feeling good going into this one. You had the best team in baseball all season long. You played 162 games, and here you are, the #1 team in baseball. But it's going to be tough tonight. You've got an experienced Dodgers team, and they're a group that have played in a bunch of big games, so it's going to be competitive. Don't expect a sweep on either side, honestly. It could go the distance, but it's fun to see some NLCS baseball here in Milwaukee.
Absolutely, but don't count out these Brewers for sure either. They love playing for Pat Murphy. That's one of the staples of this team is they give it their all every time that they come out.
He believes in every single person individually and believes in us as a team, and I think we definitely feel that in the clubhouse when your leader, the guy that's, at the head of the table, is the right person and believes in all of us. It takes a lot of pressure off of us, I think.
Now, despite having the best record in baseball, the Brewers come into this series as underdogs because of that payroll and also the Dodgers' experience in the playoffs, and also they got some great guys.
Yeah, as you just talked about, the Dodgers, the #1 payroll in all of baseball. The Brewers down at 22nd. But if you look at the regular season matchup between these two, the Brewers did take all 6 of those regular season meetings. But if we're being honest, that doesn't really matter now that we're in the playoffs. Anything goes here. The Dodgers are the favorite in the series, so the Brewers, whether you like it or not, are a bit of an underdog going into this one.
Yeah, and Pat Murphy likes that underdog status, and he says his ragtag group of guys, the average Joes, are going to be just fine.
We're gonna have to piece it together. That's how we do it. It's patchwork, and it's proven to be pretty good. Yelly calls it the collection of misfit toys. Everybody's been DFA'd or moved around or been through really tough stretches, whatever, and it's kind of all hands on deck, and they're ready to do whatever. It's kind of cool.
So the CS rosters were set this morning. Cade, was there anything that jumped out to you about who's on this team and can help the crew in this NLCS?
I mean, for the most part, everyone is the same except for one big change on the pitching staff. It's Tobias Myers in, Nick Mears out. Still no Brandon Woodruff in this one. 12 pitchers on the roster, and they're going to need every single one of them to get through this series.
Bats are going to have to be more consistent than they were a series ago. We're going to need some of those guys at the bottom of the order to pick up the slack as well. So a lot of different angles to kind of figuring this puzzle out of the NLCS, and Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, getting those guys out is going to be huge.
Yeah, on the Dodgers side, just loaded from top to bottom. Of course, you mentioned him, Shohei Ohtani, the two-way star. If I had to pick a strength for this Dodgers team, though, it's their starting pitching. I mean, a bunch of just fireballs up there, guys who can just go and throw for 6, 7, 8 innings even. And the guy on the mound for them tonight, Blake Snell, he's only allowed 2 runs this entire postseason. So if the Brewers can get to him, maybe get into their bullpen, then they have a chance, but they got to make it through these starting pitchers.
Absolutely. All right, we'll have more coming up later at 10. We'll send it back to break now before news after the break.
This October, Maxwell White and the Lacrosse Hunger Task Force are hosting our annual food drive. Donate at least 6 items when we visit, and we'll donate $15 on your behalf, plus give you $15 off any service that day. Schedule today.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like $10 off assorted men's and women's Wrangler retro jeans. Men's Rustler jeans, $16.99. Rewards members save an extra buck. All Fram oil filters are on sale, 20% off. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing you the lowest price with us or we'll match it right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You already know. Derek Van Orden voted for the largest Medicaid cut in history. Nursing homes may be forced to close. Rural hospitals in Wisconsin at risk of closure. And tens of thousands of Wisconsinites could lose health coverage. But did you know Van Orden's vote could raise electricity costs in Wisconsin $300 a year? Also, Van Orden could give wealthy elites another tax break. Tell Derek Van Orden, stop making us pay more.
Do your drains scare you? Bring them back to life with Maxwell White. Get a $99 mainline drain opening, including a camera inspection, and let our highly trained professionals banish the monsters that lurk in your pipes.
Call or schedule online.
All right, overall quiet night, cool to seasonable conditions, 40s for most areas. We'll have cloud cover increasing, but it will remain dry with a little bit of light north wind. Showers a little bit tomorrow, definitely increases in the evening. It's going to be a wet Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning for everyone.
All right, thanks very much, Greg, and thank you all for joining us tonight at 6.
We'll see you at 10.
Go Brewers.